What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now that will never win their team a Super Bowl. I'm not going to include players that's been in the league for less than 5 years simply because they still have plenty of time to turn things around for their team. With that, let's get started, guys. Number 5, Phillip Rivers. If you guys know Phillip Rivers, he's the only quarterback out of this draft class that included Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger to never win a Super Bowl. Meanwhile, while those two hoist their Lombardi trophies, Phillip Rivers only can just sit there and look in despair, as this guy has been to the playoffs plenty of times, but he's either ran into Tom Brady or Peyton Manning during the times of the AFC when it was truly a powerhouse. Right now, Phillip Rivers is 36 years old, and it's safe to say that time isn't on his side right now. I mean, his offense and defense are pretty good. He's got a lot of great talent on his team. It's just that there's a lot of other good teams out there in the AFC, and he's dealing with the AFC West, guys. That's never really easy to win. So hopefully Phillip Rivers can manage to get one somehow, some way, but I highly doubt that. Moving forward, let's go, guys. Number 4, Alex Smith. Alex Smith has always been known as that conservative guy who can get you to the playoffs, but he can't really take you to the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy's been to divisional conference, but nothing more of that. I mean, this guy's a very conservative player, and he also chokes a lot, which can be attributed to him being with Andy Reid for the latter part of his career. I mean, prime example, guys, he lost to Tennessee Titans, a team that we all thought they could have handled easily and be able to advance to New England. But unless you're a Tennessee Titan fan, everyone knew that wasn't going to happen. Unfortunately, Alex Smith lost to the Tennessee Titans, and then they shipped him to the Washington Redskins after that. And it's safe to say, with him being on the Redskins with that roster, they're not going to go into the playoffs. I believe they'll be an 8-8 team or a 9-7 at best, but I'm not going to expect too much things from Alex Smith right now. I believe this is where his career will end, not in a bad way, but it's just going to end. We just won't remember him for much. We'll just remember that guy can get you to playoffs with nothing far. Number 3, Matthew Stafford. This guy who went 0-16 at one point with the Detroit Lions has also been awarded $110 million guaranteed money, something around those dollar amount. I can't remember the specific number, guys, but Matthew Stafford's that kind of guy who will throw for a lot of yards, and he'll give you possibly an 8-8, 9-7, 10-6 season, can get you playoffs a couple of times, but he's another guy you really can't expect too much from. I mean, yes, I'm aware that he had a lot of comeback victories, guys, but what does that really count for him? He doesn't have a playoff win. He's never held the number 1 seed or anything like that, guys. And I get that he's in division with Aaron Rodgers, but it's safe to say that Matthew Stafford is never going to bring his team to the Super Bowl unless that team has a complete roster change or something. I know they just hired a new head coach, but I don't think Matt Patricia is really going to do too much for the offense because he's more of a defensive kind of coach anyway. So that being said, I just don't have no faith in Matthew Stafford or the Detroit Lions because Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. That's why. Number 2, Andy Dalton. We all know who Andy Dalton is. He's one of the biggest choke artists in NFL playoff history. I mean, the guy has went 0-4 in the playoffs where either his defense has cost him or he's cost him himself. And it's just that we look at Andy Dalton right now. He had 2 subpar seasons, and we're thinking, is this what we're going to see from now on? I believe that's what we're going to see. Andy Dalton he had plenty of chances, guys. I can't stress that enough. Plenty of chances, to move into deep in the playoff, make a late playoff run or anything you want to call it. But unfortunately, this guy can't handle the big moments on the NFL stage, and that has cost this team a lot. And I also attribute this to Marvin Lewis still being the head coach because there's something toxic in that locker room, and it clearly starts with the head coach. And the Bengals still haven't got that memo because they just signed to a 2-year deal. So enjoy failing again, Bengals. Sorry. And number 1, Kirk Cousins. This guy is 26-30, and he's replacing a guy in Case Keenum who took his team to the NFC Championship. What's really funny about this guy is the Minnesota Vikings have gave him $85 million in guaranteed money, which means they're going to let some of their star players go because they're not going to be able to afford everyone under the cap. So they're essentially, it's a Super Bowl or bust with Kirk Cousins. I'm definitely not going to trust Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I get that he's thrown for 4,000 yards for 2 or 3 seasons, But I can attribute that to a lot of stat padding, honestly, guys, where he's just, looking to boost his stats. But Kirk Cousins only went to one playoff game, and it was against Aaron Rodgers, and ironically, he's in division with the guy. So I'm not going to expect too much out of Kirk Cousins for the Vikings, because even if he does get to the playoffs, it's going to be like, okay, so you need to get to the Super Bowl, buddy. That's what they signed you for. They believe that you're the missing piece for this team. But unfortunately, I don't think that Kirk Cousins is going to be able to do that. The Vikings are going to definitely look like the most laughable franchise ever to give a guy $85 million in guaranteed money who's went to playoffs just once, and his record is 26-30. I mean, Case Keenum has a better plus-minus record than Kirk Cousins. I mean, guys, let's keep in mind, Case Keenum was in the NFC Championship. So with that being said, I just don't trust Kirk Cousins to win Super Bowl, and he does have a lot more talent on his roster than the Redskins. But again, it's Kirk Cousins, guys. I believe he'll mess up some way, somehow, and that's all I have to say about the top 5 NFL quarterbacks. With that being said, guys, if you like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment what other quarterbacks you think are not going to ever win a Super Bowl. Or you can debate me on the quarterbacks I just told you why they might actually win a Super Bowl this year. Who knows? Maybe they will. With that being said, guys, I am out.